Man City have finally found their best centre-back partnership after years of soul-searching in this area. Players like Mangala, Otamendi, and Laporte had been unable to make this spot their own, but it seems City have settled down on John Stones and Ruben Dias. The clean sheet doesn't come solely from the performance of both players, but it also comes as a result of the team performance as a whole. One of the few important things City have to deal with in this match is to keep Anthony Martial quiet. In this regard, Stones does extremely well. He never loses sight of Martial and makes an excellent tackle in the process. Even when Martial drops into a deeper position, Stones there to make sure his presence is always felt. He keeps pushing and pushing very hard, not giving him any room to turn, until he's got no choice but to pass it backwards. Same thing here, with Martial dropping deep and Stones keeping a close tap on him. Stones makes a good tackle on Martial. The subsequent ball fell to Pogba, which is again immediately dealt with by Stones. Diaz shows the same intelligence to mark Martial further up the pitch. By doing this, he knows Bruno has got nowhere to play the ball to, other than playing it wide to Rashford, whose movement is closely followed by Zinchenko. One of the reasons the partnership between Stones and Diaz has worked well so far is they managed to keep a close distance between them. This is crucial, because Martial attempts to make a run in between them every chance he gets. But the positioning of Cancelo and Stones here makes sure Pogba can neither pass it through the gap nor play to the left channel, as Diaz is prepared to cover that area as well. So Pogba decides to go long, which causes no trouble whatsoever to City defense. Martial makes the same run in between the two centre-backs, but Stones and Diaz yet again manage to keep it close together, which forces Luke Shaw to overhit the pass to Bruno instead. Here, Stones is occupied with Martial, and there's a danger coming from Rashford, who can freely make a run into the box through the gap in the central defense. So Diaz smartly closes the gap down by tucking in closer together with Stones. In this passage of play, look how close the two defenders are. Such positioning blocks any attempted runs from Martial and makes him easier to defend against. Again, Martial occupies the little gap in between Stones and Diaz, but since they're both close together, Diaz managed to deal with the incoming cross. In this instance, a bigger gap than usual is created in the central defense. If only Pogba quickly makes that pass to Martial, he would be clean through on goal. But the defensive pairing quickly plugs any holes in their defense, and the chance gone for United. Same run by Martial through the middle. It's been going on throughout the match. But the defensive solidity and discipline shown by Stones and Diaz doesn't give any kind of joy for Martial up front. What makes this defensive pairing so strong is that both players have good defensive awareness. Pogba makes a dangerous run into the box, but Stones aware that Cancelo is tracking his run, and even if Pogba managed to get past the defense, Diaz is still able to cover for him. So that allows Stones to be more aggressive in blocking Martial. Martial again makes the same run through the middle, and seeing there's a possibility for Bruno to make that pass here, Stones retreats further back, and again to form a much more defensive shape. Stones also shows some maturity here. Rather than making the aggressive tackle on Martial and losing his defensive position, instead he adjusts his body shape and maintains the whole defensive structure. His partner Diaz also has the same sense of responsibility. There's a chance for him to go tight on Martial here. But if he does just that and Martial makes a pass to Wan-Bissaka, he will lose his defensive shape. Unwilling to take unnecessary risks, he retreats into his original position. This is one of the few times United managed to get in behind City defense. Martial tries to square the ball to Rashford, but what about this for an interception? His sense of positioning inside the box is just exceptional. A really dangerous whipping cross from Bruno, and Diaz in the right place to make the block. Right at the edge of the box, Diaz has to deal with the threat of two players simultaneously, Van de Beek and Bruno, but his sense of positioning allows him to be on top of things all the time. There's simply no way through this guy. The speed and the force in the tackle is just mind-blowing. Again, Martial comes up against the tank, who is Ruben Diaz. Martial must have thought it's time to just give up and go home by now. However, special mention needs to be made to Fernandinho for the way City produced such a complete defensive performance. Little things like making interceptions are often overlooked, but nevertheless not any less crucial. Like in any restaurants, before the food gets served to the customers, it must go through a screening. And Fernandinho is the guy who screens the food before it gets served to the back four. With United doing a high press on City backline, there's pressure for City to play out from the back. And this is where Stones becomes ever more important in the side. He's one of the best ball-playing defenders in the team who can bypass the opposition high press with a single pass. He's one of the few players whom Pep Guardiola can trust with playing out from the back, and also the main reason why they bought him for a hefty sum of money in the first place. To a lesser extent, Diaz also has a similar capacity to bring the ball out from the back. He's not afraid to occasionally involve himself further up the pitch, as he's also comfortable on the ball. In Stones and Diaz, City have got two players who fit the criteria of a Pep Guardiola's ball-playing defender. Previous defenders who have gone on before them are usually too one-sided, with exceptional on-the-ball ability without the defensive savviness to go along. Perhaps now City have found the Van Dijk-Matip combination of their own. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment down below, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch you all soon.